Take a deep breath in. And on the out breath, close your eyes. That's right. And as you breathe in, I want you to imagine breathing in a feeling of calm and relaxation. And as you exhale, gradually allow feelings of tension, stress, or worry to leave your body in your outward breath. That's right. As you breathe in and breathe out, I want you to notice that with each exhale, more feelings of any stress and worry just can be released in that outward breath. And as you breathe in, just imagine you're breathing in a warm feeling of safety and security. There'll be a color that comes to mind when you think of safety and security. Maybe it's a warm orange or a glowing yellow. Whatever color comes to mind for you is exactly the color it should be. And I want you to imagine that as you breathe in through your nose, you can see and feel that warm color of safety and security going in through your nose, filling your lungs, giving you a sense of safety and security. As you exhale, I want you to get a sense that any feelings of anxiety, stress, or overwhelm is starting to leave your body in your outward breath. And maybe that yellow or orange or bright color that you breathed in is a darker shade when you breathe out, representing any feelings of anxiety, stress, or worry leaving your body in your outward breath. But since each and every breath you're breathing more of this safety and security in, and exhaling more of that tension, stress, and worry out, it stands to reason that with each and every breath you're feeling more and more safe, more and more secure, more able to let go of some of those fears and worries and stress that you've been holding on to. And you already know where you feel these feelings in your body. That niggling fear of overwhelm, of stress, of being unsettled. Notice where you feel it and then release it on your outward breath, enabling you to feel more and more relaxed, more and more resourceful with each and every breath. That's right. And as you relax, you can loosen those neck, the shoulders, your jaw, and just notice that you're feeling more and more relaxed. That's right, with each and every breath. And I want you to use the power of your imagination to remember visiting a castle, a colorful castle. Just go back in your memory to a time where you were smiling just because you could. But this time imagine that this whole place is empty and it's just you. See the shape of that castle. But this time imagine that castle out in a land of its own, surrounded by a moat and a drawbridge. And this colourful castle, I want you to imagine that it's grey and dark. I want you to get a sense that this castle represents safety, but it isn't necessarily a nice place to be. Because sometimes in order to move forward, we have to visit where we have been going. And I want you to get a sense that sometimes when people feel threatened, unsafe, they don't go to where it's nice. They go to where they feel that they know. And sometimes old places feel safer than the new places, simply because it represents certainty. And I want you to get a sense that you can recall a time where you've retreated to that castle, you've raised the drawbridge, and you've kept yourself safe by being alone, controlling what you can control, and that's you. And if this feels like a familiar place, just let me know by nodding your head. And you've tried this. And in this place, it's not about happiness. It's about security. It's about safety. It's about certainty. It's about survival in this place. And you've gone back to this place many times throughout your life. Not through desire, but through necessity. But what if this castle, this fortress, felt more like a prison than a place of safety? I want you to get a sense that just because you've been here before doesn't mean you have to go here again. And I want you to get a sense that this place of refuge, of security, is now going to be a palace of resourcefulness. The drawbridge is raised, nobody can get close to you, but I want you to imagine that you're changing this place from a fortress into a palace. I want you to imagine that you're drifting up over this castle, and I want you first of all to just change the colours, making it look more like a Disney palace than an old creepy castle. And maybe it's got pink and white and bright colours and purples. And as you do that, notice that already this place seems like a nicer place to be. I want you to imagine that you, through the power of your imagination, are having flowers and plants throughout this palace. And when you do that and you can see the colours and more importantly smell the flowers, let me know by nodding your head. I want you to get a sense that this creepy castle is changing now more to a place of possibility, a palace of possibility. I want you to get a sense that there is now music in this place. Optimistic, positive music. The kind of place that inspires you, makes you feel full of possibility and wonder. This is no longer a place to hide. This is a retreat for you to thrive. A place where you get to recharge your batteries. That you can visit this place whenever you need to, not to hide away, but to get stronger, more confident, better than ever before. A place where you can stretch, exercise, breathe fresh air, and just reset. What if this was a vacation, a holiday for your mind and your emotions? And continue to improve this palace, but also strengthen the walls to make sure that you feel completely safe inside, but safe in a wonderful place. And I want you to imagine inside this palace is the most amazing chef and kitchen. And I want you to imagine that that chef is preparing the most nutritious, healthy foods possible in your palace of possibilities. I want you to smell the smell of that amazing food they're preparing, nutritious, healthy foods. See them doing it. And get a sense that also in this palace is a gym. Exercises, classes, maybe even a pool. The kind of things that would inspire you to be more active. And if you can see that, let me know by nodding your head. There could be all kinds of chaos beyond the moat, beyond the drawbridge, but here in your palace is not a place to focus on survival. It's a way for you to become stronger, more confident, more resourceful than ever before. Here in this palace, you can eat the best foods, the most nutritious foods. You can drink the purest water. You can breathe fresh air. You can meditate, stretch, and you can think about the life that you want, the life that you deserve. And here in this palace, I want you to imagine there is a table, a wobbly table that represents an old belief, a belief that you were given when you were a child. And here in this palace, you can remember an evil stepmother that gave you this table and told you that this table was real, that it would be with you forever. But now when you look at this table, you can see how wobbly it is. And I want you to decide that you don't need this table anymore. Whatever the legs represented, whatever evidence that the belief that this table represents, I want you to imagine using the strength to kick those legs away. And notice that as you kick the legs away, the table can't stand and it falls down. And I want you to imagine somewhere in this palace is a fireplace. And that old belief is now just firewood that you're putting on the fire to keep yourself warm. And instead, you're going to create your own table. A new belief as to how things really are. And I want you to remember a time that you were kind. And when you can recall that time, let me know by nodding your head. And as you think about that time of kindness, I want you to imagine one leg is being created. I want you to remember a time when you were caring, really empathetic, thinking of other people's needs above your own. And when you can do that, let me know by nodding your head and create a second leg of that table. I want you to think of a time when you were non-judgmental, open to allowing people to be who people want to be. And when you can recall a time like that, again, create another leg of that table. And then I want you to recall a time that you were healthy, exercising, eating nutritious foods, doing things that are good for your body and good for your soul. And when you can recall a time like that, just let me know by nodding your head. And that is now the fourth leg of that table. And you already know what this tabletop that you're about to place on those four legs represent. A new belief, a true belief about your identity. And if your unconscious mind is happy that an old, unuseful and untrue belief is now firewood on the fire and you can see it burning, and that this new belief is not only true but useful, then see that table being placed on the four rock-solid legs. But this table isn't an old table, this is a luxurious palatial table, maybe encrusted with jewels, made of marble or granite. It's a beautiful table. And when your unconscious mind is happy that this new table is rock solid, true and useful, let me know by nodding your head. That's right. In fact, I want you to climb up on that table, feeling how rock solid that table is. Imagine jumping up and down and knowing it doesn't move a bit, no wobble. It's rock solid, therefore giving you evidence that this belief isn't going anywhere. And I want you to think about what this belief about who you are and what you are means to you, and what a person that has that belief does, how they act, how confident they are. And if you can feel that even just by holding on to this belief that your confidence is increasing, let me know by nodding your head. For years now, you've been chasing a mirage that was based on a false belief system. Because confidence is not linked to your body weight. Confidence is linked to your character. And whenever you remind yourself of the qualities of your character, you will instantly connect with that level of confidence. And if you can feel your confidence increasing just as you remind yourself how strong these table legs are and this identity of who you are, and you can feel the confidence increasing, just point to where you feel that confidence increasing there inside you. It might start small and it grows. It gets stronger and stronger. And all you ever need is to think of one memory, of one leg of this belief, this identity, and your confidence will increase. Because hasn't it been true that over the years, people have tried to change your character, and yet they failed? They couldn't make you cruel. They couldn't make you mean. They couldn't make you judgmental, even though they tried. And therefore, if your confidence is proportionate to your character, and your character couldn't be changed even after all of this external pressure, is that not your true identity? Is that not who you really are? And as you accept and fully embrace that identity, notice that confidence is just a reflection of that version of you. And when your unconscious mind accepts that fully, let me know by nodding your head. That's right. And the final piece of this puzzle is safety. I want you to climb off that table, see how strong and safe that table looks, and then get a sense that there are two forms of safety: strength and hiding. And for a while you've tried to make yourself safe by hiding away, and if that's true, let me know by nodding your head. But from this point forward, you are now the queen of your castle. And a strong queen does not hide. A strong queen becomes even stronger. And a queen does not rule her kingdom alone. A queen rules her kingdom with trusted advisors, good friends, people she can rely on. For a while now, you've seen people as the enemy. But the right people are your allies. And you will become safer, become more secure through the connections that you build, the collaborations that you form, and by becoming more of the character that you truly are. You will eat well not because you're trying to lose weight, but because you're a healthy person. You will exercise not to lose weight, but because you want to be stronger. And if your unconscious mind accepts this to be true, let me know by nodding your head. I want you to imagine now that you feel safe. safe enough to leave the castle. You can lower the drawbridge, cross the moat, and as you look back, you can now see a stronger castle, a palace of possibility, with gyms and chefs and pools and equipment, and more importantly, a kingdom of people there that will support you in your mission. And now you can venture out into your kingdom knowing that where before you had to hide in your fortress, now you can feel safe in your entire kingdom. Other people may compromise their values, but you don't compromise yours. I want you to get a sense of what the next few days, weeks, and months will look like as you tap into an identity of being strong, of being kind, of being caring. And notice that as that person is the person that you fully embrace, your confidence increases. I want you to get a sense that you are tapping into the person that people try to move you away from, but the person that you've always gravitated towards. And if this feels like you're unlocking powerful, strong resources deep inside, let me know by nodding your head. And just allow these resources to tickle the part of your soul that enables you to smile and enjoy life more. That you no longer have to experience the sour lemons of unpleasant people with bad experiences. Now, you get to notice all the beautiful things in the world, the things that resonate with your spirit, your soul, and your purpose. Attracting and manifesting those things that will enable you to build a safety net, to build a palace of possibility within your own mind, your own emotions, so that you can feel safe wherever you are. As you walk around your kingdom, you can always see the palace, knowing that you can go there whenever you need to. But for now, we need to turn back into reality. As you recall, this is just thoughts within thoughts, ideas within ideas, dreams within dreams. And I want you to now find yourself back in your body, listening to my voice firmly in the present. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, get a sense that you're in your own physical body right now. And very soon, I will count from 1 to 10 to awaken you, but you will awaken having discarded an old, untrue belief and activated an empowering belief that was true all along. You will awaken feeling resourceful and confident, because confidence is now linked to your character, not your body weight. Starting to count to awaken you. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.